Most people think that piping is only about welding and erection, but in today's video, I'm going to help you from very scratch level that how design engineering deliverables will be produced before this construction. Well, my name is Engineer Waqas Ahmed and I have spent 15 years in the oil and gas industry and coaching of project planning and control. This video is gonna very important before construction of pipeline, what kind of documentations and their sequence. There are multiple documents involved. So I request you people to stay there because it is gonna help you to add much more value in your profile. So before starting this video, I would request you people to just subscribe this channel so that in future if I'm going to make any relevant video which is going to help you in your career, in your skills, that you can get that link on time. Well, as per my experience, as I have mentioned there, I have spent a lot of time in oil and gas field, and many people out there, engineers, civil, electrical, mechanical, either they are freshers, mid-career or experienced level engineers, they think to join oil and gas industry. But the knowledge which I'm going to share with you people in a video like this is very much valuable, because over the period of this all years where I have been serving in the field, I have been feeling a gap. So I'm trying my level best to fill that gap, like industry and the job seekers, that how they can learn much more valuable things from this platform. So let's start. A common mindset when you can see around you that the pipeline construction project is going on, pipeline for oil and gas projects, pipeline for water projects, right? So the construction, before this construction, what kind of important documents you need to produce? So that is what I'm going to share with you. The engineering deliverables, the designing deliverables, the reports, the documents, the drawings, right? So when we talk about piping project, it is not only piping engineering involved to complete or produce all of those documents. Parallel to piping, we need process engineering, which is going to highlight that what process will be implemented, and as per that process we are going to produce the isometric drawings, piping and instrumentation drawings. Then there are equipment drawings, then there are electrical and instrumentation drawings. Procurement vendor documents will be initiated as per these drawings and all that. Civil structural drawings will be there, and the 3D model development. And then on the basis of this complete agenda, you people are going to make coordination in kind of EPC project. The EPC project will be based on all of these engineering deliverables. I'm going to get you through the complete one by one, but before than that, let me share with you, these are three final outcomes: P&ID, process instrumentation drawings, you can see over here, general arrangement drawings, and isometry drawings. These are the final outcomes. When they are ready, you are going to start the procurement or you are going to start the construction. So I'm representing here the final point so that we can assess, like there is first piping purchasing order is the final document. Pipe rack structural drawings, IFC, once this model 30% will be completing, the first piping purchasing order will be issued, and that will look like this one, which I'm gonna share with you people. Because see, such kind of purchase order, you are going to ask your third party vendor suppliers that you need piping, see, EPCI services, and you are going to contact with them. Before issuing this format to any vendor, you need to complete 30% model. I'm coming on that point, that before arriving on this milestone, what kind of important information you have to collect, right? So then once 60% model is there, pipe rack structure drawing, IFC issue for construction will be done, right? Then piping MTO, these are important deliverables I'm trying to share with you. So I'm gonna share all of these final documents just to show you people that how we are going to start our effort. So let's start from very beginning. Like, you are going to start from process flow diagrams, heat measurement balance sheets, right? The first document will be created, and this is our just a starting point. And parallel to this one, I will be sharing with you people over here like this way, that what does mean by process flow diagrams. These are going to show process flow, major equipment, stream directions, temperatures, pressures using during feed, front end engineering design. And meanwhile, I can tag there the link to understand the complete feed front end engineering design as well, because I'm a coach and I have designed many other videos to understand other processes, right? So here I'm just explaining about the engineering deliverables. So for the sake of references or understanding that complete topic, you can just go and link that tag link over there right above my head, and just start watching that one, but right after this video. And then HMB is heat material balance sheets, like which is going to tabulate heat loads, material compositions, thermodynamics, and all that. What kind of heat, temperature we require to process all of that procedure and all that, right? So parallel to that one, I will be explaining. So once this document will be clear, we are going to initiate IFR, P&ID drawings, like issue for review, process, and instrumentation drawings. And right after this document, like process flow diagrams and plot plan, IFR will be started as well, right? So there is a process in light yellow color. This is going to show process engineering, whereas these this color, like this one, is going to show you, you can see that piping deliverables, right? So right after this one, you can also start this mechanical specification data sheets, and along with that one, there is equipment sizing list. Parallel, all the teams are going to start their work. Their trigger point is only process flow diagrams. Here I just explained this point, right? This is the trigger point. Once it's done, this concerning team is going to start, and it will go into IFR. But don't just think like that it will be directly like process, and no, before than that there are many other predecessors or inputs, right? So I'm just sharing this flow diagram, and here we are. See, once this one will be there, hazard area class will be identified. All these things will be triggered, but at the same time, before plot plan, at the same time, the fluid list will be prepared. The fluid list, like what kind of hydrocarbons or fluids we are going to process or we are going to transport through these pipings and all that. And then after this fluid list will be there, we are going to start piping classes. Like if I need oil from a reservoir having pressure like 3000 psi, then on the basis of that, we are going to make design parameters. So fluid list, what kind of fluid is there, what kind of H2S is carrying out. So on the basis of that one, I'm going to classify that this piping should be on the basis of MR07, which is going to handle that H2S as well, right? So I hope you can understand. On the basis of this fluid class, you are going to define piping classes, and this piping class is going to also define your process and instrumentation drawings. So after this plot and plan, you are going to start your line diagram. Line diagram is going to specify that how many valves are there, how much inch dia, temperature, pressure, and many other parameters, right? So that is something only possible after this plot plan. So even if you are interested to start your career as a planning engineer, this is very important thing for oil and gas industry. You can also watch my video, which I am gonna tag over there, with complete Primavera P6 understanding, that how this complete Primavera P6 tool as a tool which will be utilized during this oil and gas industry, from engineering to procurement to construction and all that. So it is gonna help you a lot. So also mention in the comment section area, you are a civil engineer, electrical, mechanical, because your discipline matters a lot from upcoming videos. So don't forget to mention or leaving this platform before commenting in the comment section area, right? So right after this line diagram, you can see that once IFR process instrumentation drawing is there, after this one, we are going to ready with the help of two inputs. Piping classes are there. So we are going, there are three inputs right now. So see, first class piping MTO, material take off, right? The quantity surveyor or estimation guys are going to take off the quantity. This is gonna be a first MTO. Like they are going to calculate that how much piping will be utilized on the basis of this process and instrumentation diagram. You understand? So these are three important inputs. And plot and plan is going to trigger not only line diagram, but also general underground network, like how much piping and how this underground network will be going on, right? And this network diagram will also be triggering or will be helping to plot our or measure our first piping calculation as well. So these are the four inputs required for first input. So many people are going to ask you in job interview, you can, okay, you are going to be on a first piping MTO, so what are the possible inputs or what are the possible documentations you need to carry out? So you should answer there IFR, like process and instrumentation drawings, piping classes, line diagram, and underground networking, something like that. So this is something directly coming from the industry based practices. So this is very much valuable diagram, right? So on the basis of this line diagram, you are also going to make pipe studies further on. And then, so piping and instrumentation, once this review is done, after that, you are going to make issue for design, piping and instrumentation. Okay. And then it is going to give you two inputs, hazard and operability studies, which is going to help you to assess the risk and alternative analysis as well. And there are two outputs, second piping MTO. Once this IFD, P&ID drawings are done, then you are going to be ready for, or you are ready to go for your second MTO, right? That is more accurate. And then piping studies are also going to play an important role as an input for the second piping MTOs. So the output of this second piping, this is the first deliverable we are going to get. Right after this second piping MTO, we are going to make first piping purchasing order issue. Like this template will be issued to the concerning authorities that they are going to collect, we are going to issue, see this one. Okay. So this document is a output, but before than that, we need to go through all of that process. I'm talking about this complete one, right? You understand this complete one. So now after this one, plot plan is there and fire protection. Once plot plan issue for review is there, after this one, fire protection will be started, the study. Main cable routing will be started. Then plot plan review will be there. These are the three outputs after plot plan, right? And after these, underground network, this is somehow gonna contribute within first piping PO, because underground networking is not possible unless you are going to mention them. And this is gonna make input for this one. So every single thing is very important, right? So then you can see pipe plot plan is gonna help you for 30% model as well. So at this moment, you can see that equipment sizing is also going to make a contribution for as an input for this plot plan. And the plot plan is going to play a very important role for these three studies. And then it is going to play an important role as an input for this one. And everything is interconnected, right? But here, the flow diagram is going to help you to understand things in a single way out, right? So here we are. And, plot plan issue for review is going to also trigger hazard area classifications. And this hazard area classification is gonna trigger this equipment guide drawings. Okay. And then, of course, this one is going to play a very important role, process data sheets. Equipment sizing is going to trigger equipment process data sheets. And this is also going to play an important role for sizing and see. And after that, you can see equipment process data sheets are going to make important role for or as an inputs for equipment specifications, material data sheets, or material requisitions. It is going to be a very important point for procurement as well, right? And then you can see equipment bids. You are going to look for suppliers who are going to offer such kind of services. And then equipment technical toolbox box stocks and technical bid evaluation as well, right? So equipment purchase order issue will be done right after this evaluation, which will be done. Like in procurement, what happens actually, You are going to advertise that what kind of equipments you are requiring, and many supplier vendors out there in market are going to contact with your team. And then meanwhile, your team is going to receive their bids, their offers, and they are going to evaluate that what kind of person they are finding more promising and fulfilling the specifications. And then that is called TBE, technical bid evaluation. Right after this evaluation, you are going to highlight one supplier, make meeting, and make this commitment. So then you are going to make that purchase order issue. So right after this purchase order issue, you will be giving like equipment general arrangement drawings, like complete drawings as per that drawing. You require that equipment to be done. So 30% model is going to give you these outcomes. First, piping PO, and at the same times, equipment general arrangement drawings, right? So right after this 30%, we are now proceeding towards the 60% model. So this 60% model at this 30% issue for design plot plan, right? So right after this hazard, like hazard operability studies, you are going to make first IFC, like issue for construction process and instrumentation drawings, like all those drawings which are P&ID, their first IFC will be issued. When IFC is there, you can start the construction, fabrication, and all that, right? So right after this first piping purchase order, you are going to start piping material supply, like there will be procurement will be initiated, and equipment vendor drawings will be there. And vendor drawings are also going to play a role of input for this first IFC. And then right after this piping studies, you can see stress analysis for piping. And right after this one, you can see piping calculations, right? And then the second and our third, because this one the first and this one the second and the third document will be produced, right? But right after this calculation, you are going to find out the IFCs as well before this 60% model is done. So then you have here inline instrumentation vendor drawings, because procurement is also going. And right over here, this is actually a process engineering color. See, this is process engineering. These are the piping equipments, and these are somehow this procurement oriented. Okay, so here we are. And right after this instrumentation vendor drawings, last IFC process instrumentation, right? This will be initiated. And before than that, there are further more. Let me share with you. And here we are. See, after this equipment general arrangement drawings are done, you are going to make IFC plot plan. And right after this equipment setting plan, equipment found IFC. And then you can see process structure IFC. This is civil, right? This is foundational IFC. These are actually for the civil drawings. Now, civil drawings, how they are going to correlate it with the piping and process, and see, electrical, everything is kind of very amazing, right? So you will understand the real industry. The people who are like a mid-career planning engineers, they are going to find it very valuable. The people who are freshers, they don't feel like, oh, how I can understand. They just make the very higher level understanding. And meanwhile, I would recommend all of those people, either you are a fresher, mid-career level engineer, or planning engineers, you should go and start learning Primera P6. And I'm also offering that one. Meanwhile, you can visit my video details. There I have given many valuable links. You can start watching them. And apart from that, I'm also offering complete training session for project planning control, for EPC industry, for oil and gas industry, for construction industry, shutdown industry. And you can start learning these things as per industry and develop yourself as a professional planning engineer, right? So here I'm actually explaining right now the documentations that right after this piping MTO updates are done. Because once it's like this process structure IFC is done, see, after that underground piping, cable trenching IFC will be done. And this is gonna be input for this piping MTO right after this one. These are 3 inputs required. Okay, so after this one, you can see there are 2 important things, like piping support calculation loads are there, and this package vendor drawings. Once packaged vendor drawings are there, you are able to do this one. Okay, so Right after this one, you can see there are final equipment packages, 90% model. Once final equipment packages are only doable once we are after 60% and in between 90%, right? And then material supply 70% might piping material delivered. Like in this situation, start piping fabrication in workshop area. Piping isometric drawings will be done right after IFC P&ID drawings, and then you can see that after this one, your 50%, this is going to complete the loop. Okay, and then it is going to help you that how to complete your MTO updates, material takeoff, and piping general arrangement drawings will be done in the last stage. And right now, I can just share with you step by step the understanding of these complete things. If you find out, like there are HMB, IFR is, these are the abbreviations. And if you are going to write there in the comment section area, I'm going to share with you all these abbreviations, what is inside these documentation. This was the complete flow cycle that is going to help you that at which stage you require what kind of things. If you require all of these things in a PPT or in a diagram or as a document, you just mention there in the comment section area, oil and gas engineering deliverables. My team is going to approach you and give you all those things in a soft format. So you can see IFR means, because many people out there might not possibly understanding all of these abbreviations. So process and instrumentation drawings, what is inside this drawing? IFD, issue for design, what is inside this drawing? So you can see over here piping MTO, what is inside this document? This calculation, piping stress, piping support calculations, what is inside these documentation? Everything I have given in the detailed way. And meanwhile, if you are looking forward for your career, you are worried, you are getting low salary, you want to transform your career into oil and gas, and meanwhile, I would suggest you people to start your career as a planning engineer, because as a planning engineer, you will be ruling in the field, right? As a starter, like to start your career in this field, you have to learn Primera P6. You need to understand all of those processes which I have put in my complete training sessions. So I'm waiting for your people to write in the comment section area to get all of these takeaways. And meanwhile, you can write in the comment section area live free masterclass. My team is going to approach you and give you opportunity to join my upcoming live free masterclass, in which you can ask the questions and all that. See you in my next video.